What is going on, everybody? It's the Francis Wing here for our Monday Night Raw review for September the 5th, 2022. We are not going to talk about anything All Elite Wrestling here because this is a WWE review and this is not an AEW review, so we'll leave that for Wednesday. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's talk about this show here. This show started off great, went way downhill for a bit, and then when Kevin Owens came out, he single-handedly put the show on his back and made you actually want to watch the show. Now, let's start off with at the top. Comes out immediately, calls for Dominic Mysterio. He says that he watched Dominic grow up since he was 5 years old, since Ray came to WWE 20 years ago. Yes, Ray's been in WWE for 20 years, so yeah, he's known him since he was in that. They used to shoot people with pea shooters in catering and a bunch of other stuff as he was a kid. Ed says he doesn't see him as a kid anymore. He sees him as a WWE superstar. He'll pay his price. He calls Dominic down in the ring. He says he's going to beat his ass. Ray comes out and he's like, "Don't do this, man. He's my son still. We're going to try and figure this all out." Ed says, your son's old enough to drink. Your son's old enough to drive. Your son is old enough to pay for his sins, and he wants him out now. Out here now. Out comes Rhea Ripley. She stands on the stage and laughs, and she tells Edge to calm down. They got exactly what was coming to them. She says Dominic isn't a little boy because he saw potential in him, and she's made him into a man. Dom comes out in black shoes, black jeans, black shirt, black vest that looked like slicked back hair. I wish he would have had his hair shaved back to being like very like small, but okay, short, but whatever. And he just has this look of like a new Dominic. He walks on and he has no music, obviously, because he's doing the whole Judgment thing. Ray tells him to snap out of it and make amend with Edge. Dominic doesn't reply. Ripley says he doesn't listen to Ray anymore. Ray can't fight Dominic's battles anymore. She tells him time has passed Edge by and she can't stop his Judgment Day. We get a "Who's your daddy" chant as Ripley and Dominic slowly walk the ring. Ray's like, "I don't want a part of this," so he walks out. He gets to where Dom and Rhea Ripley are, looks up at his son to talk to him, and instead of looking down at his dad, his son, Dom, just looks dead ahead, not paying mind to his dad, and his dad's like, "Is this really how it's going to be? Fine, whatever. You just do what you got to do." So the fans chant Eddie's son, which I fucking loved all of this. Ray walks away in the backstage. Edge waves his finger to bring it on. They still go a little bit slow, but Finn Balor and Damian Priest make the attack Edge from behind. He fights them off until Dom hits him with a chop block. He slides in the ring, chop blocks Edge, walks out of the ring to be by his pappy, as she's being called, I guess now, for him. He's his pappy. Ray tries to return to the ring, and Dom grabs him and throws him back, and Rhea Ripley with a elbow to the back of the head. So she goes in and grabs a steel chair. Throws him the ring steps. She goes and grabs a steel chair, hands it to Dom, who hands it to Balor. So they continue to be on Edge. Balor hits the South of Heaven. Ripley gets the chair, of course, like I said. Who passes it to Balor. Balor uses it to attack Edge on Edge's knee. Balor lays the chair across Edge's knee. Priest holds the Edge down, and Balor goes up, hits the coup de grace. From the top chair and Edge's knee on Edge's knee underneath. Ray is back to get in the ring. Priest, Balor exit the ring. Further interaction. The Judgment Day make their way to the back up the aisle with Dominic with the group. So, as I stated at Clash of the Castle, it feels like Triple H is starting to ramp up a trios division. You got the New Day when Big E comes back. You got Imperium. You got the Brawling Brutes. You have the Judgment Day. You have the Usos, the Bloodline with Usos and Solo Sikoa. Honestly, that's 5 teams. When Big E comes back, that's 5 teams. That's a heck of a trios division. It would not surprise me if we have trios division coming into very, very soon. Also, this is the most trios I've seen in WWE at the same time on the main roster, and I don't know how long. I mean, for a while there, we had the Usos with Roman, but they weren't really a trios. They maybe had 1 or 2 matches as a trios, but it was just Roman and the Usos separate as the Bloodline. Then of course you had Brawling Brutes, and that was about it. Now you got the Imperium. Now you got Imperium, and now you got Judgment Day and New Day. Of course, will always be trios when Big E comes back. It really feels like they're ramping up to do a trios tournament, especially if you get Legado del Fantasma on Raw with SmackDown. That's another trios right there. So it would not surprise me coming up soon, maybe around Survivor Series time, that Triple H would probably around the time we get the new version, because apparently Triple H has placed orders for the WWE for title redesigns of championships. Now the U.S. title, Intercontinental title, they should stay the way they are. They look fine. Women's titles need to look different. They don't need to look the same. The WWE championships need to look different. If they're not, if they split them, you gotta have different title belts. If they don't, you get one belt. That is it. Roman, the Bloodline. For the Usos, same thing. One belt that doesn't look like it does. And then around the time that those title belts get reintroduced with new designs, Triple H could probably put out there and give us a trios tournament with Imperium, the Brawling Brutes, the New Day won't be affected in this right now. The Judgment Day, the Bloodline, Legado del Fantasma. My goodness, the trios just seems to be one of those things that's going to be happening. I know AEW just crowned their first trio championships, and we'll talk about that again on Wednesday. But it seems that Triple H is going to put a trios division together, and honestly, I don't mind it. I mean, we just buried the men's tag team division, but we'll get to that here in a second. Back from break, the Miz and Ciampa in the arena parking lot earlier, where Sir Strowman wants to ask about what happened last week when he drove off and it looked like somebody was in his back of his vehicle. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. How many times do I have to tell you that? I don't want to talk about it. They keep walking. He's talking about his U.S. Championship match. When Tommaso Ciampa points, and yes, Ciampa got his name back. He's Tommaso Ciampa now. He points to the side, and as they pass through, we see a turned over vehicle, and I'm like, oh fuck, here comes the big man. He's back, obviously. Back to the New Day come in, and we get ourselves an announcement for a fatal four-way #1 contendership for the Unified Tag Team Championships. The New Day, the Alpha Academy, Los Lotharios, and the Street Profits, and you're wondering, why aren't the Viking Raiders, who destroyed the New Day, in this match? Well, what happened at the end of this match tells you all you need to know why the Viking Raiders were not in this match. So we get an early spot that should have been like, this was stupid. So Woods is in, Angel Garza tags in, and Kofi Kingston. So both the New Day are tagged in. They shake hands like they're gonna actually wrestle. Woods lays down to be pinned by Kofi, and everyone but Otis, who doesn't seem to know what the fuck is going on, come in to break up the pin. Problem with this: there is the New Age Outlaw rule. Back in the Attitude Era, the New Age Outlaws did this same exact thing, but actually had the other teams in a four-way look fucking stupid, because the New Age Outlaws came in, Billy got pinned 1, 2, 3 by Road Dogg, and they won. The very next week, I think it was, they ran it back, and it was the New Age Outlaw rule. You can't, even if you pin your tag team partner, the referee is not supposed to count when a tag team partner pins a tag team partner. Of course, I know this is like 20-some years later, you still made the rule. They tried the New Age Outlaw maneuver, and it should not have been counted, and somebody should have brought this up. Hunter, you're in charge of this shit. You were there when the New Age Outlaw rule was introduced. Come the fuck on. Now, this match was really getting into the goodness. And Alpha Academy tried to pull what Aaliyah and them did last week, and what Kai and Sky did the week before. Chad Gable tags in, and everyone tries to attack Otis. And it looked like the Alpha Academy was going to pick up the win. And everything does. And then you have Chad Gable has Montez Ford in a ankle lock, when all of a sudden, music hits. No train track, no train noise or anything. Thank God, that shit was annoying. He comes out shirtless, bald, still, runs down, referee gets out of the ring, he destroys everybody, goes for his run around the fucking ring, trips and falls under Chad Gable, which the dude hasn't even been back on the main roster for 24 fucking hours and is already back on Botchamania. Gee, I wonder how well Control Your Narrative is working out. Oh, that's right, they posted a thank you for Braun Strowman's, Adam Shearer's contributions to Control Your Narrative. Those motherfuckers just salty, man. Control Your Narrative's dead. It's a farce. It's not gonna do shit. Beats everybody up. Beats up security. Puts Dawkins through the announce desk, and we go to commercial break. And you're like, what happened to the Fatal 4-Way? What happened to the Fatal 4-Way? Apparently, it was ruled a no contest because Braun Strowman came out and buried the New Day, Los Lotharios, the Street Profits, and the Alpha Academy. I know everyone's like, why is the Viking Raiders not in this match? Well, thankfully they weren't because they didn't get buried in this situation. So, by process of elimination, I guess the Viking Raiders get a tag team title opportunity. I know the whole story is get the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. But I seen what happens. Like, we went to commercial break, we came back, and Braun was just now leaving the ring. What has changed? What is different? Why do I have to sit there and see Braun go? Why do I have to see that shit? Nothing's changed. He's the same fucking guy he was before. There's nothing different. This is Triple H dropping L's. Hunter keeps dropping L's. I don't know what to do. Then Hunter keeps dropping L's. That's all this. This is him dropping another fucking L. First there was Shit Row. Then there was the tag title tournament. Then there was Roman winning Art Cardiff. Now there's Braun Strowman back. How many more L's will this dude drop? I want to see like WWE get better, but this is not the fucking answer. Braun Strowman, like a guy Braun Strowman's size, has a small window of relevancy, a small window, a small ceiling. He has hit that ceiling before he got fired last year. There is nothing left for Braun Strowman to do in WWE except circle the drain and rehash the same shit over and over and over again. What more do you want? Moving on, Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah versus Nikki Trash and Piper Niven. Match was meh. Aaliyah is still so fucking bad. But I will, I guess, try to give some credit to Raquel Rodriguez because she had Piper Niven up for the Tejana Bomb. It was a pretty fall. I think you might want to leave the test of strength for Bianca Belair, who can lift up Piper Niven no problem. She definitely struggled for the pin and the win. Rey Mysterio is interviewed backstage, and he just looks like he is in a daze. He is not in a happy camper right now. Says he loves his son. He needs to have a word with him in private, a.k.a. get the belt off and start whap. He says the Judgment Day is poisoning Dominic's mind. He says he will never put his hands on his son. Gee, you know where this is going. Obviously, it's going to be Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. Rey Mysterio's career on the line, and Dominic beats Rey Mysterio, ending his career. That is where this is going. It's just like when Kane and The Undertaker had their battle, and Undertaker refused to wrestle a match against Kane. It's the same thing. I think they did something with a father and son too that wasn't so I think there's a wrestling promotion that did a father and son angle where it was like I will not fight my son, and then eventually it became down to father and son in the end. That's exactly it. He wants to get his hands on Balor apiece. They get to decide who it's going to be, and that was that. Back to break. We get some highlights from Clash at the Castle 2 days ago, including ovations for Sheamus after his match against Walter. Austin Theory runs his mouth. He comes down to the ring, gets his first name back. Obviously, he got it back at Clash at the Castle. And gets in the ring and grabs the microphone. He's favoring his jaw because he got clocked by Tyson Fury. He jokingly refers to Clash at the Castle as Crown Jewel and then yells at the crowd to shut their mouths. He gloats that he's still the youngest Mr. Money in the Bank in history and the future undisputed champion. Honestly, the only way you would have saved and made if you wanted to save Roman's title run and still debut Solo Sikoa, let's face it, Austin Theory is not going to be the one to cash in and beat. I mean, come on, he's not beating Roman Reigns. If they go Roman versus Cody and Cody somehow beats Roman, which again it's very unbelievable, especially when it's like 4 guys in the fucking bloodline now. It would not surprise me if they pull the rug out from underneath Cody, where he wins the titles. Austin comes in, hits him with the briefcase, hits the A-Town down, and wins the titles at WrestleMania. That, in my opinion, would be fucking hilarious, and I would laugh at everybody who thought, oh, they're gonna give Cody his moment. Yeah, he had his moment and then he lost it. I think that's funny if it happens. Terry says he got knocked down. He gets back up. He points out Roman's still champion. He's glad he is. He says Drew McIntyre embarrassed himself in front of his friends and family. No lies there. Theory loses it when the crowd again says, with the crowd again says he'll end Roman Reigns' championship run and be the undisputed champion. I was hoping Johnny Gargano to come out because they're having a little back and forth right now. But out comes Kevin Owens. He walks onto the stage with a mic. He says, "What's wrong with your jaw?" "Oh, that's right. You got knocked out. You not knocked the hell out," which the fans chant, "You got knocked out." And he's like, "Well, wait, guys. How about this? You got KO'd." Fans start chanting, "You got KO'd." And then Owens points out Theory found his first name again. He's like, what do you think of that?" They go, "Oh, that's right. You got your name. You found your name again." And he makes fun of that. And so, of course, Kevin Owens makes fun of him some more, gets in the ring, and eventually it just comes down. He's like, "Oh, you know where this is going, don't you? Soon there's going to be a referee that runs down here." And look at that. A referee runs down. And then somebody's going to say that time for talking is done. We're going to fight. And he says that. And he's like, "Oh, that's me. Let's fight." Throws down the mic. And honestly, this promo and the match that followed single-handedly saved this show from being worse than it was, because everything that happened with the tag team title tournament, the tag team fatal 4-way, and Braun Strowman's return really put a sour note on this show. My goodness, what a fucking terrible thing that was. Austin Theory versus Kevin Owens. This match was fucking great. Kevin Owens, honestly, Kevin Owens has been putting some of the best work on Raw. You have Sheamus, who's been being the MVP of SmackDown over all of 2022. Kevin Owens has been the MVP of Monday Night Raw before Vince left, and has really stepped up the game after Vince left. This dude has been putting Monday Night Raw on his back and carrying it all the way to where we are right now. So these guys have their match. Really good fucking match. Austin Theory is definitely getting better at being a prick heel. Is he ready to be the WWE Undisputed Champion or WWE Champion in any way, shape, or form? Hell no. But I give it to him. This guy is getting better. So, Theory gets another near fall. He lifts Owens on top of the turnbuckle and chops him. He climbs up to get Owens. Owens overpowers him and hangs on. Theory falls to the mat. Owens goes to the rope, but Theory cuts him off. He catches him with a Fisherman Brainbuster, which looks so beautiful, from the second turnbuckle. Owens hits the pop-up powerbomb, but instead of Theory laying flat, he turns over onto his onto his stomach. Owens is incensed. He picks him up, looks at him, hits the gut. Stunner. 1, 2, 3. That is that. So Kevin Owens just having another banger on Monday Night Raw. If anybody should be a WWE champion by the end of this year, it's Kevin fucking Owens. This dude should be getting something. If Sami and him win the WWE Raw Tag Team, the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, that is great. That would make him a Grand Slam champion and would be great overall. I think he deserves it. He has been putting in the fucking work, and I think it's time that Triple H rewards this man one way or another. And the fans would love him and behind Kevin Owens. That, quite honestly, if you wanted to take a title off of somebody and give it to somebody, Kevin Owens has put in that time. Backstage, Ciampa is giving him some pep talk. Sarah Shriver interrupts him and says, "You know what the definition of insanity is? Asking the same question and expecting a different answer." And he doesn't want to talk about what happened to him after he who shall not be mentioned. So pretty much they're treating Dexter Lumis like Voldemort from the Harry Potter series. Which I have a joke about that sometime, but not now. Miz says he'll defeat Bobby Lashley to become the new United States Champion. Back from break, we get a full highlight video for Clash at the Castle, and I'm like, well. we must be trying to kill time because we get this full video highlight package. We went to commercial break. We came back to this video highlight package. Then we see Damage Control, Bailey Kai and Sky, walking to the ring. They're going to be next. I didn't notice I had to look this up. I had to look this on socials. But behind Damage Control, you see Nikki and Piper having a talk. Nikki rips her mask off and throws it at Piper and walks away. So maybe Nikki trash is gone and maybe Nikki Cross will return soon. I hope the fuck so. Back we see the video package for a Medal of Honor recipient, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? We went to commercial break, we came back, had the video package for, and it wasn't like they were killing time for the cage to lower or anything, it was just, why are they killing time? Damage Control's in the ring, comes to the ring, they got new music and everything. The commentary says Bayley was the first woman in 10 months to pin Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Of course, that would be for, SummerSlam last year? Well, I don't know what her last loss was. It was definitely in her feud with Becky Lynch. Bayley goes over the 6-woman tag team victory over the weekend. Kai says they were taking control. Kai says next week they're taking back the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Kai says, newsflash, I wasn't legal when Raquel and Aaliyah defeated them. So they can pretend to be champions, but they will get what is rightfully theirs next week. Bayley repeats that she pinned Bianca Belair, then brings out Bianca herself. Belair admits Bayley got the better of her, but it wasn't just her. It took all 3 of them to take her down. She says if Bayley wants a challenge, she can have it right here tonight. Bayley says, shush please, and she laughed about that, like nod to Chad Gable. He says, you do know it's Labor Day, so I'm not working today, which got a big pop for me, and I think a lot of the crowd actually laughed at that joke, too. That was a good joke. They're just celebrating her win and beating Bianca Belair. Belair says it actually took all 3 of them. He says Bayley has her minions, but she still has this holding up the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Belair says if it's one-on-one and you have the title, until it's one-on-one and you have this, you're in control of nothing. Damage Control surrounds her, but Bayley's like, no, let's leave. In the ring, Bayley has them back off, and they head back out the entrance aisle. Bayley says she has nothing to prove. She says Bayley is still the same person trying to be Miss Perfect and everything. She says her fragile ego can't handle one loss, and that's why she's challenged her tonight. Bayley says that we could have laid you out tonight, but they have other things to handle first. She says if, and she taps on Dakota, who walks forward. And when, and taps Io, she walks forward. She wants that title. She's going to get it one way or another. And then she grabs both of them to pull them back. I love Bayley. She's fucking awesome. So is Damage Control, 3 of the best women on this roster. I just can't stand Bianca Belair. This fucking babyface bullshit facade that is Bianca Belair. You know what I actually like Bianca Belair? When she was in NXT as the bitch heel. The whole, I'm the EST, the bestest, the fastest, the strongest, all that shit. That's a heel gimmick. Trying to say that you're better than everyone and everything, that's a heel gimmick. The fact that she's showing out here being this fucking babyface is just nauseating. I do not fucking care about Bianca Belair. Turn this woman heel. The sooner Tez turns heel, the better. Just saying, because she'll turn heel too. Backstage, Forever interviews Johnny Gargano, asking about Austin Theory, saying Gargano is swimming with the sharks. He says he's been doing that his entire career, and he's been doing pretty well. He's proud of what he did in NXT. He'll remind Theory how good he is. Theory interrupts and says Gargano has done nothing but talk since he returned. And Gargano's like, you know what? For the first time in your life, you're absolutely right. But before you got out, you came here and interrupted us, I was about to announce that next week, I'm back in the ring. Finally. Next week will be, I'm pretty sure, a fucking month since Johnny Gargano has made his return, and he's just now gonna get in the ring. I'm fine with that. I can't wait to see what happens. No idea who he's facing. I mean, it's probably gonna be like Dolph Ziggler or something. But yeah. Back to the arena, Jimmy Smith hypes up the steel cage match for tonight. We see Rey Mysterio make his entrance. We get a video recap dealing with Edge and the Judgment Day at the top of the show. Graves says Edge was taken to a local medical facility. He actually he didn't say local medical facility. He actually said the hospital he was sent to. Byron Saxton and Jimmy Smith are still saying local medical facility, while Corey Graves is actually saying hospital. So I understand why they're still saying local medical facility. When you have it drilled into your head, and for months, for Jimmy Smith's case, I think it's been like a year since he's been here, but for months or years, then having an old 72-year-old man for years say medical facility, medical facility, medical facility. To get out of that, it does take a while. But good on Corey Graves for actually saying where Edge was taken to. It was a local hospital. Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest. This was a good match. Priest had Ray and whipped him in the stunner first. Now, of course, Judgment Day did not come out with Damian Priest. Did I mention how I love the fact that Damian Priest got his old theme music, his NXT theme music back in the Judgment Day, but it's like slowed down and creepier. I love it. I think it's awesome. It fits him really well. So whenever he goes back to being Damian Priest afterwards, and they get done with the Judgment Day, and he's back to being a babyface, he can get his. They can speed it back up and give him his original theme back. Love it. Ray kicks the Priest, but gets cut off with a big strike. The Judgment Day walk out down the aisle with a chair, and Dominic, who's not like Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Rhea Ripley all came out with new Judgment Day T-shirts. So. Anyone thought they're going anywhere anytime soon, you're out of your mind. Triple H saved this entire group, by the way, because if Vince McMahon would have been here, this group would be on main event every single week and doing absolutely fuck all on Monday Night Raw. Rey Mysterio takes the Priest lifts straight up for the Razor Edge. He reverses it into a Hurricanrana in the back position. Gets ready for the 619. However, Dominic gets on the apron. And this freeze and Rey Mysterio just freezes up. If I'm Rey Mysterio, I'm not freezing up. I'm going to the other side and hitting the 619 on the other side, but he didn't. Priest Ripley gets in the ring to distract the referee. Priest turns around, floors him with a huge lariat. South of Heaven, 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest picks up the win. It seems like a rite of passage to fight Rey Mysterio and floor him with a fucking huge lariat. Judgment Day stand over Rey Mysterio. Ripley gets a mic and says Dominic will send Rey back to retirement because what Poppy wants, Poppy gets. Says Dominic will challenge Edge on Raw next Monday. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. What Dominic does is different because Dominic, up until this point, has wrestled like his father. Has used his moves his father has made famous. He hasn't really done anything that's not his father's moveset. So hopefully, within the next week or so, Dominic's gotten some heel tendencies. He's working with Finn Balor, who had one of the best heel runs in New Japan Pro Wrestling as Prince Devitt, the first leader of the Bullet Club. So hopefully he's getting some pointers and everything from Fergal on how to be what he needs to do as a heel. Hopefully Edge is going back there and going like over this with this guy. Like they're gonna sit down and go. He's gonna go to Edge's house for this entire fucking week or something and learn how to work as a fucking heel because Dominic up until this point has not shown us any type of heel tendencies as a wrestler, and I want to see what he can do differently. Because if Dom goes against Edge and just wrestles like his father, it's just gonna be like, why is he a heel? Sabre Shriver interviews United States Champion Bobby Lashley. He says Miz isn't very smart. Says Miz thinks he'll be safe inside the steel cage from Dexter Lumis, but he'll be trapped inside with the most dangerous man in WWE. We get a recap of Strowman's return earlier. Backstage, a camera catches up with him. He says, I'll let you in on all the information, but just let you know that nobody is safe, and I will see you guys on SmackDown on Friday. So, yeah. We get video commentary tease, talks to highlights video, a match between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle at Clash of the Castle. We get a post-match interview with Riddle saying he let his emotions get the best of him. He says he wants another match against Rollins. He wants it now. He also sees a post-match interview with Rollins where he says there won't be a rematch because he's moving on to bigger and better things. There's going to be a rematch, all right. It's going to be Extreme Rules. What that's going to be, do not know. We get a split screen of Miz and Lashley walking backstage. The title match is coming up. Back for break, we get the steel cage lowering in place, which it should have been in place already, in my opinion. Miz makes his entrance, but by the way, I don't know why they do this. It's like, hey, watch the steel cage lower. Who gives a shit? When you go to commercial break and there's nothing in the ring, lower that fucker so when we come back, the steel cage is already down. It's not one of those things that's like, oh, look how awesome it is. The steel cage is lowering. Nobody gives a shit. Now, who the fuck booked this shit? Miz attacks Lashley from behind, and for whatever reason, the ref doesn't ring the bell. It's a steel cage match. As soon as Miz attacks Lashley, ring the fucking bell. So Miz and Lashley go to the outside, and Tommaso Ciampa and Miz pounce on him. Miz and Ciampa battle Lashley at the ringside and throw him into the side of the steel cage. Miz gets the steel string steps and smashes Lashley's left arm as Ciampa was holding him against the steel cage. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is this shit? Why are we getting this? What the fuck is this kind of booking? How many times have we seen a steel cage match happen? How many times does that door close and they start fighting, like one person attacks the other and the ref rings the fucking bell? But on this night, for whatever fucking reason, the ref decided, oh well, it's a predetermined attack. It's an attack that it just doesn't make any sense why you would do this. It's fucking stupid, absolutely fucking stupid. That's what makes the match is just on the way inside the ring as Miz gets a couple of near falls. So Miz get the upper hand. Lashley eventually gets up the hand. Lashley actually tried to escape from the cage, and Tommaso Ciampa takes a chair and hits the cage where Lashley's knee is to keep him in the ring. Miz eventually gets a skull crusher finale, but only gets a 1 count. I gets a 2 count. My bad. So of course Lashley eventually gets the upper hand. He looks like he's about to crawl out and leave, and I'm like, Tommaso Ciampa slams the door in Lashley's head and Lashley's face in 3, 2, slam. But Lashley gets the better of Tommaso Ciampa as he gets the door and throws it back in Ciampa's face, and Ciampa just dies. He looked like he got shot. So Miz gets over there, grabs the cage, and just starts smacking the fucking cage door into Lashley's face. So Lashley is pretty much incapacitated. He's done. Miz looks around and he's like, all right, you know what? I'm going to climb out of here. So he climbs up. He's about to climb down on the other side. When he looks down, Dexter Lumis comes out of the ring. Out from underneath the ring, halfway. Miz, instead of doing the smart thing, jumping, this was another stupid booking decision that I don't know why you would fucking do this. Instead of having Dexter Lumis, Miz try to walk out of the ring, out of the cage, and Dexter Lumis show up out from under the ring there, forcing Miz to go back inside. That would have made a little bit more sense. Bobby Lashley gets up, hits the spear, 1, 2, 3. That's not what they did. Miz was down far enough that if he would have jumped to the side, he could have avoided Dexter, won the U.S. Championship, and got the fuck out of there before Dexter Lumis did anything. No, he climbs back in. Dexter Lumis is watching him. He gets up. He's following Miz as Miz is going around. Miz eats the spear. 1, 2, 3. Bobby Lashley picks up the win. Bobby Lashley retains the United States Championship. Dexter Lumis climbs into the ring. Miz is about to leave. Bobby Lashley closes the door and just shakes his head like, not today, motherfucker, not today. Miz tries to leave. Dexter Lumis grabs him, puts him in the side choke, chokes him out, and just starts petting him like a kitty. As the show cuts to Snake in the Grass. No fade to black, no nothing. What a weird way to end the show. But I know Miz is meant to look stupid sometimes, but what a way to make somebody look like a geek. All he had to do was jump to the side, jump to the side, jump to the fucking side. He would have won the match, won the United States Championship, and got the fuck away from Dexter Lumis before he got him. Nope, he has to climb back in, get beat. I'm not saying Miz should have won the United States Championship, but in the grand scheme of things, Miz looked like a fucking idiot. This is back-to-back weeks with Triple H. He should be hitting grand slams week on week, but he's hitting singles. This was a single, 2-out single. This was not a good show. Kevin Owens and the opening segment was great. I loved every second about the whole Dom thing. Rey and Damian Priest was fine. Miz and Bobby Lashley was meh. Still don't get the fucking booking of, oh, well, these guys are fighting each other. Why am I not ringing the bell? Why am I not? They're in the cage. If Miz would have, like, if Bobby Lashley was coming to the ring and Miz hit him with the fucking, what should have happened was Bobby Lashley was trying to get into the ring and Tommaso Ciampa hits the fucking door on him before he gets into the ring. But they were both in the fucking ring. Miz attacked him. That's a bell ring. What the fuck? Who books this shit? I swear half of the show was booked by Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon, and the other half was booked by Triple H. What the hell are we doing? Get the Vince McMahon-isms out of this fucking company. Please. My goodness. That is your Monday Night Raw review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds of the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The France Club, and find me on Instagram at The France Club. And I will see you guys on Wednesday, where we will cover everything and anything about AEW. Until then, my name is France, and I'll see you guys later.